Hello and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I am very excited about today's video. We are going to be diving into the new Natasha Denona Hyper Natural Face Palette. I am so excited that I got my hands on this. It was very difficult to track down. I looked in stores all over, in Sephora's. I ended up having to order it. I did get it from Natasha Denona's website, but we are going to dive into this beautiful palette today. If you are joining me for the first time, thank you so much. I hope you will consider subscribing to my channel and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified of future uploads. And with that, grab yourself a cup of coffee and let's go do our makeup. Okay, so we are going to dive right into this beautiful palette. So it is rather small. I don't know how easy it is to tell. It is a pretty heavy palette. It has like a shiny kind of like plastic feel to it, so you're gonna see fingerprints on it. I mean, that doesn't bother me, but and it comes with a very nice mirror. I don't want to blind you, but and this is what the inside of this palette looks like. So you got the 3 contour shades over here. You get 2 blush shades. They are absolutely stunning. I will just tell you right up front, you can tell how excited I am about this palette. There are 5 eyeshadows. They are intended to be used alone. You can do a one and done. You can combine them. They are best used with their fingers, according to Natasha's video. I would recommend checking out that video before you use this. It is really helpful to tell you how she created this palette, intended it to be used. So that's why I kind of, I knew to kind of use my fingers with this formula. She says this is a newer formula she developed. It's kind of like a cream, but also a powder. It reminds me a little bit of the ColourPop Super Shock shadows. But just really beautiful. I will say before we start putting this on that this whole palette is intended to give you a no makeup look. This is not the typical pigment that you normally would see from Natasha's eyeshadows. They're just a lot more subtle. It makes them very easy to use and blend. And I do find it's a lot easier and smoother with your fingertips. So we're going to go ahead and dive into this. I'm going to show you how I use it. I do already have my base makeup down. I have let's see, I primed with the Wet n Wild Impossible primer, and I just filmed another video with the Sephora Best Skin Ever foundation. This is new to me. And then I used the Sephora Best Skin Ever concealer to go with it. And then I did powder just a little bit with the Flower Beauty Light Illusion powder. So, okay, let's dive right into this. First thing I want to talk about is, what is going on with my hair today? How I primed my eyes for this palette, because I've used it all week, and I have found that I've tried it a couple ways. I tried it one day without priming at all. The eyeshadows really creased on me. They turned into kind of like a cream in my eyes because I have slightly hooded eyes, and so right in here was creasing quite a bit without a primer. The next day I tried it with the e.l.f. eyeshadow primer, just a typical primer. That was a little bit better. What I'm finding is that my MAC paint pot, which I don't normally like this with eyeshadow anymore. I mean, it's just not, it's not the best as far as holding my eyeshadow on, but it worked for this. So this is in the shade Painterly, and this worked really well underneath of these shadows. So I am going to maybe just powder down slightly before I get these on. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to dive into these contour shades. So there are 3 here, a lighter one, medium, and a little bit deeper. I am going to go into these contour shades. I have been mixing them. I think what I am going to do though is just, actually no, I'm going to go in with all three. I'm going to go in with all three because these are pretty subtle. I'm not even sure you're going to be able to see them if I don't use the deeper shade as well. So I'm just gonna, I mean, you can see how subtle that is. I mean, I do have lights on because it's just a little too dark out for natural light today, but it just gives the most beautiful, subtle look. Now, the other thing I will say is the blush and the contour shades in here really airbrush your skin. It looks like I took a powder over it, but it's just so airbrushed and natural. It's beautiful. It's where do I get the blush on? It's even better when you put the blush on, and you can layer this. It does not look heavy at all. So all right, hopefully you can see that, and I'm okay with it being subtle, and I do have a fairer complexion. I do wonder how this will work with deeper skin tones, because it is meant to be for all skin tones as far as I understand. So just go with just a little bit more over here and even this out, and then we're going to get into the blush. But this is very, very subtle. So what that means is you can build it up really without messing it up. Oops. And then I just, you know, if I go a little heavy up or down here, because I like to keep it up high and backward, then I just go over it with a foundation brush. But hopefully you can see how subtle that is. It does, I'm seeing a little bit of luminosity. I thought it was from my foundation before, but I think there is a slight amount of luminosity in these. Okay, I'm going to grab a clean blush brush here, and we're going to dive into these beautiful blush shades. So the way Natasha Denona described this in her video is you can use either one by themselves. This is supposed to be a universally flattering, the darker shade, for all skin tones. She also said you can use the deeper shade on your cheeks and then go over it with the lighter shade, and it kind of diffuses it and gives you like an airbrushed look, which I have done, and I would agree, very, very pretty. But this is a little bit more pigmented than the rest of the products in this palette, this deeper blush shade. But that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to go over with this, but see, once you start putting it on, it's you know, it just diffuses. It's just very, very natural. Okay. Very pretty. Okay, so see how natural that looks. It just gives you a nice pop of color. And then I'm going to go over it on the other side with this brush into this baby pink here, and we're going to just diffuse it a little bit. This blush, I've used it all week. Like I said, this blush lasted me all day. It did not move. It didn't fade. The eyeshadow faded after 10 hours of wear, and so did the bronzer. But this, I don't know what it is, but this did not budge. Look how beautiful and subtle that is. Oh, I wasn't sure if I was gonna like this palette. I love a full face palette, but I wasn't sure with the shades in here. These eyeshadows are just absolutely stunning. Okay, airbrush that, diffuse that right out. And What's interesting is I have not worn highlighter all week. I feel like I get enough luminosity here that I don't need it. I love the way it looks. Just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Hopefully you can see. I'll go over it with a little bit more baby pink, and I just, you know, build it up. If you need more, you build it up, and it just gives you this nice natural flush. Like you walked out in the cold and it just, you know, your cheeks are just a little pink. I love it. Or you got a little bit of sun. It's just so pretty. So, so beautiful. So subtle but beautiful. Okay, let's dive into these eyeshadows. Okay, so I'm gonna swatch these for you. I do have my favorites on here. These all look very, very pigmented. When I swatch them, they diffuse beautifully on the skin. So we're gonna start with this one. This is Everyday, and this is, I've used this every day, pretty much, for my look. So this is the first one. This is a beautiful, slightly coppery brown shade. It is so windy out. I hope you can't hear that wind up against the window, but beautiful coppery shade. Here we have Dreamy. This one is a little bit more glittery. It does have some pigment, not quite as much. It's got like a gold pinky shift to it. I have not used this one quite as much, but it does give your lids like almost like a wet foiled look. This middle one is beautiful. I used this yesterday. This is Statement. This one diffuses on the lid a little bit more matte, not matte, but more like powdery than the others. Also very beautiful, just a little bit of a different tone of brown. Okay, this pinky peach shade right here is called Soft. That is exactly what this is. I used this one day with actually used the bronzer in my crease, and it worked beautifully. It is not this pigmented on the lids. Diffuses out very, very nicely. Okay, and then the last one is called Casual. I have not used this one by itself just yet. It's a little dark. I'm gonna put this one down here. But also diffuses beautifully. Kind of like a taupey brown. So there you have the swatches. These are absolutely beautiful. I have tried them all, not all by themselves, as a one and done. So for the one and done shades, this one is my absolute favorite, Everyday. It looks the most natural, just really, really easy to blend out and diffuse. So I think I'm going to show you that one today. I want to show you how this sort of blends out when you get it on. So I'm just going to take my finger. Hopefully you can see. Get a layer of that down. The only thing I worry about with these is they're going to get hard pan on the top because they are, they're pretty soft. But see right there, look, just that little bit of blending. I mean, I could stop right here and be done. This is a very subtle everyday brown. The name is absolutely perfect. So let's see, we'll go over it again a little bit. You can build these up nicely. Blend them upwards again. I mean, you can use a brush to diffuse them. I've done that with this shade with Statement. That one is pretty easy to blend out. Let's see here. Like I said, they build up very nicely. I think I'll use Dreamy just to show you kind of in the inner corner, but See how that just diffuses out to a nice, pretty one and done? I just love it. Let's go in, fingers off here, and we'll go in with Dreamy. And we'll go into the inner corner with this. Let me get up close so hopefully you can see these okay. Okay, get a little bit on my pinky. Oh yeah, see how, whew, gives you a nice pop. It really does look kind of wet. I wouldn't probably do this, you know, every single day. Not for work necessarily. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you, let me show you soft on the other side. Because it is, as the name implies, a very soft shade of pinky peach. I'll show you kind of what this does here. Hopefully you can see. Very, very subtle, soft shade of pink. I don't care for it just by itself like that. I do like to have just a little bit, if I'm gonna wear pink, because I feel like it kind of makes me look like I have a cold, I like to put a little bit of brown up in my crease. So I did the other day, I used this lightest shade of the bronzer up in my crease and along with this. So I think I'm gonna wipe that one off, but I did want you to kind of see just how subtle that is. Even though it's pigmented on the swatch, it's pretty subtle on your eyes. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? Now that you can see the everyday, I think I want to try to use this one called Statement and show you, I think that's the best way to show you how these can blend up and diffuse with just your fingers. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to go into Statement. It's that middle brown. Okay. Again, it's pretty. It looks kind of like more like a powder. Let me put it on. We're going to go over the whole lid. Okay. And so you can see how that kind of looks smoky right now. It's just like an instant smoky eye look. We're gonna blend it up with my finger. And it just diffuses so easily. And you can take, what I might do, let me see how that just diffuses with no effort whatsoever, none. But I am going to show you, I'm going to go in with a fluffy brush and I'm going to go into this the lightest shade of the bronzer and just diffuse it up here a little bit more and give me just a little bit more of a warm pop there. So easy to do. I wouldn't probably normally do this every day for work, but so easy, so easy. Okay, let's even these out. I'm just gonna stick with this today. We're gonna go with this today. What I will say, I don't know how much I really love these 5 down here layered on top of each other. I did try that one day with that lighter brown every day, and I think I put this one in my outer corner, and it didn't, I don't know, Statement kind of disappeared on me. It was very weird, but looking a little dark, but smudge this out. But this does look gorgeous with mascara and liner. Looks a little patchy, but it does settle down a little bit. And I'm going to go back in and just even this out. Bronzer shade. Just so easy, so easy. This does look, I mean, I know it looks a little dark and it looks a little patchy. Let's blending and blending with your finger. I mean, it's so, they're beautiful. They're absolutely beautiful. I have nothing bad to say about this palette. It is absolutely stunning. So well worth the money. I would look for a coupon code because it is $62. It's expensive, but even on Natasha's website, and I think there's some content creators who have a coupon code, so check around for those. Okay, I am going to put on a little bit of eyeliner and mascara so you can see what this looks like when it's all finished, and I will be right back. Okay, I am back. I have on a little bit of my eyeliner. It is the Wet n Wild Color Icon in the shade Simma Brown Now, and I am also wearing the e.l.f. Lash Extender tubing mascara. Love, love, love this. This is really good. I do not like the Milani. This one is fantastic. And it does not flake. I can wear this on my bottom lashes with no problem. So this is what it looks like completely finished. This is a little darker than I would go for every day for sure, but I just kind of wanted to show you how you can use these, diffuse them, just using your finger, really, really quick and easy. I love this palette. I think it is well worth the money. I will travel with this. It's probably not the most travel friendly because it's a little heavy. But it's compact, it's got everything, and I haven't even used a highlighter. I mean, you could, but I just feel like you get a little bit of luminosity from this palette. It is just absolutely beautiful. I do think it is worth every penny. I will continue to use this. I have used this every single day since I purchased it. So there you have it. That is what I think of the new Natasha Denona Hyper Natural Face Palette. I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope it was helpful if you are looking to buy this palette, and I hope you enjoy the remainder of your week and make it a great day. Bye!